All right, good morning once again. You're welcome to the AM show with Nimeze.
Nimeze, yes.
Right, we're getting into the newspapers right away. So I'll start, anyone?
Oh,
the
God.
Daily Graphic.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not
The record is 11 minutes. It's 6:35, so yeah, go for it.
But I did better the last time.
Yeah, okay, Israel. But today's Daily Graphic is quite thick, and it's a Monday morning, so there's a lot of stuff,
So there's a graphic exclusive, says effective police administration, new region created. And I just go straight into it. So the police administration has created a new administrative region, the first since 1966, as part of efforts to ensure effective and efficient policing across the country. The new region carved out of its existing Central Regional Command has been named Central East Command. And I'm beginning to have an idea why. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Okufundampare, has appointed the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Kwejo Otri Wapia, as the new Central East Regional Command, Police Command. I'm actually thinking that this has to do with Kaswa, because, anyway, so trying to get into it. Yeah. So the new police administrative region covers Kaswa and Otreko, which were under the then Kaswa and Dominati police districts, and will now constitute 2 police divisional commands and 10 police district commands. It makes sense, actually, because there's been a lot happening in Kaswa, and it's become really difficult for the police to, contain the situation there and police the area. So yeah, I think it makes sense. So Accra Bible in the offing to give impetus to Let's Make Accra Work initiative. Agenda 111 project takes off tomorrow. And then 177,000 people to get Johnson & Johnson jab. Okay, so that's in the Daily Graphic. Maybe what we could do is I read a bit of the Daily Graphic, and then you can take the Ghanaian Times, and you can come back to me.
Do the Daily Graphic.
So
we'll still calculate your cumulative time, because I think you really just want to take your time and do like 15 minutes. But yes, okay, I'll move on to the Ghanaian Times. Like Israel said, front page, boost for health sector, all set for Agenda 111. Government to launch commencement of 111 district regional specialized hospitals Tuesday. Adentan court slaps driver with 2,400 cedi fine for knocking down a 74-year-old woman. 24-hour torrential rain causes havoc in the Upper West region. Roads have been washed away, properties destroyed, and many rendered homeless. Auditor General's report, SSNIT recovers $4 million from $11 million lost through liquidation of 3 companies. An outbreak of Marburg virus in Guinea. The Ghana Health Service puts health facilities on high alert. And also, page 3, 2 MPs involved in 2 separate accidents at the weekend. And talking about accidents, remember, we'll be bringing you a conversation about Crashed Young, Seth Kwame Boateng's and JoyNews' documentary on road accidents, but this time how it affects the children. So Ivory Coast has detected its first Ebola case in 25 years. They say that when your neighbor's house is burning, you fetch a bucket of water. Yep. It was like yesterday morning. Angel TV burnt yesterday.
Oh no, I missed it.
There was a fire in the afternoon, and I was looking out of the window and we saw, all this smoke, because on the same road, all this smoke coming out, and the fire service, rushing there with. I'm not too sure if they are, but fire service rushing there, with water and all of that. So. Anyways, when will annual ravaging market fires stop? That's the question that the Ghanaian Times is asking this morning. India pays tribute to the world for support during COVID-19 Delta variant 3rd wave. Now, yesterday, India paid glowing tribute to the world for standing by it when the country was hit with the 3rd wave of the Delta variant of COVID. Quote unquote, Mr. Sugand Rajam said, "In our time of desperate need, you provided us with emergency medical supplies, including oxygen, to save the lives of Indians who were dying." And so praying for India, hoping that they get better. My mom is Indian, right?
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so when we're talking about India, it's a little bit tiny, teeny-weeny little bit close to home. Anyway, let's move on. Middle page, all set for Agenda 111.
Is that why you get your beauty?
150,000. Thank you for saying I'm beautiful indirectly. 150,000.
Want to talk about it?
Echo, please come and take this man away from here. 150,400 expected to take the COVID-19 jab as vaccination takes off in 11 district hotspots. The graphic says 170 something, right?
170,000, yes.
Okay, this one says 150,000, so I don't know.
Okay, what exactly is it? 150,000?
400 are expected to take the Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccines by the end of the vaccination exercise.
The graphic says 170,000.
Okay, anyway. All right, Zoom Lion disinfects Ankerfold prisons complex. Also, the University of Cape Coast has opened admissions, so if yesterday you went to church and God was talking to you about going to school again, I'm just letting you know that the advertisement is in the newspaper, which presumably means that most of the universities are taking, which is funny because the teachers are on strike. It's just, yeah. Anyways, that's about it. Let me see if there's anything interesting. Muhammad Ali's grandson secures first pro win. He's called Nico Ali Walsh, paid tribute to his grandfather as he won his debut professional bout. Wearing a pair of shorts his grandfather had given him. 21 years old, middleweight, and he fought in Oklahoma. Interesting. German football legend Muller has died. And on the back page, Volta Regional Health officials are worried over COVID-19 spread in the region. According to Dr. Senanu Jokoto, the Deputy Director of Health in charge of public health in the Volta region, he says the COVID-19 situation is now unacceptable. He revealed in an interview in Ho that on Friday, there were 900 cases of the virus that had been recorded in the past 4 weeks. Currently, they have 270 active cases. So he's asking that traditional authorities, churches, schools, transport unions actively take part in the crusade to modify the attitude of the majority of people in the region to embrace the safety COVID-19 protocols. So if you live in the Volta region and you're watching us, so you're listening to us, please be safe. Your numbers are going up. That's it for the Ghanaian Times. Back to the Daily Graphic.
All right, so back to the Daily Graphic, and one of the stories that caught my attention, Afghan President Ghani flees as Taliban surrounds
Kabul. Yeah.
It's been a worrying situation, and for the president to leave, I'm like, oh man, I mean, why? If the president leaves, then it means there's all hope is lost. And the death toll in Haiti's earthquake rises to over 700. Now, that's quite tragic because Haiti not too long ago had to deal with another earthquake. Koku Amidu, who calls for reforms in NDC. So that's that story in there. And then lifestyle of politicians, spare workers agitation. That's Professor Stephen Adai. As a former board chairman of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Professor Stephen Adai has said that the lifestyle of the executive and members of parliament is partly to blame for the decision of public sector workers to reject the base pay for 2021 and 2022, while stressing that the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic does not support salary increment. He noted that the government had also failed to communicate the gravity of the country's economic situation to the people. I perfectly agree with him. Right, so of the story about the Johnson & Johnson jabs, 177,000 people to get Johnson & Johnson jab. It features Dr. Kwame Amponsa Chiano, manager of the expanded program on immunization. And let me quickly go to, all right, so there's an opinion piece. Top 9 misrepresentations about moves to increase offshore oil blocks. You can get to read that. And Gamashi marks Homowo in Unity. That's on page 3249. And 116 civil servants, others honored at Civil Service Awards. I'm trying to spend much less time. Okay, let me just go to the back page. Massive investment needed, regional minister, that's torrential rains hit Upper west. So that's a story we've been carrying on JoyNews all weekend. But that's it. I'm done with the daily graphic.
Okay.
How many minutes?
I think maybe about 3.5 or 4 and all. So well done.
I'm that good.
Okay, Israel. Let's go to the daily guide now. 12.8 billion Ghana cedis lost to MDA's Chop Chop. Agenda 111 hospitals take off. Serial killer caged. Galamsey getting back on and Cobra. Now that's unfortunate. Police have arrested 6 over weapons in Kandija. And then some international stories. Afghanistan president quits Taliban takeover. That's on page 5 of the Daily Guide. More than 300 dead after magnitude 7.2 earthquake strikes Haiti. Nearly 2 million told to shelter amid Japan rain. So about 2 million people have been urged to evacuate their homes amid heavy rainfall in parts of Japan. And 1 woman has died. Her husband and daughter are missing after a landslide destroyed 2 homes in Nagasaki Prefecture. There's a lot of things going on in different countries. Rains, floods, earthquakes, fires. In addition to the COVID, yeah. So tough times for everyone. And we send our prayers out. Serial killer caged. You remember that story from last week?
Yeah.
The man who, he killed his wife. And then there was a story about his girlfriend a few years ago. Chibi doctors get bungalows. NDC failed to pay for chairs supplied to Shudim SHS. And middle page of the Daily Guide, some entertainment news. Even Ghana with cocoa and gold solicit for funds. That's choir master defending his wife, Beverly Afaglo. Nanama McBrown flaunts luxurious cars at 44. So yeah, she turned 44 yesterday and put out a photo shoot. It's quite an interesting photo shoot anyways.
Yep.
Halle Berry says she broke 2 ribs while filming new movie Bruce. And Sewa Amehia speaks on gossip rumors. She's been trending on everywhere really for the past few days. Okay, other stories. Ghana Health Service presses Marburg virus alert. St. Charles Seminary records 4th fire outbreak. Gosh, there's a lot happening. Let's see what else we have. Ghana DJ Awards 2021 is slated for November 27. MOG speaks on his collaboration with Sarkodie. And Ohima Yunus grabs GMA UK nomination. Some sports on the back page. Top coaches show hearts coach laugh. Okay, top Ghanaian coaches including Ibrahim Tanko and Michael Asay were in Kumasi on Saturday to rally support for Heart of Oak head trainer Samuel Bredu on his wedding ceremony. I see. Well, congratulations to you, Samuel. Messi and Ramos watch as PSG down Strasbourg. GBFA Sumogosh Ghana strike deal. And Cole preaches the Lukaku effect. That's it for the Daily Guide. What you got, Israel?
All right, so I'm going to the Finder now. And on the front page, new jobbing, South MC, 2 drivers' unions in a tussle over lorry station. And 95 million cedis Assembly's Common Fund cash used to build private entity. That's the Auditor General. And then while reporting 24.3% system losses in 2018, ECG paid 182.5 million CD capacity charges to Senate Energy, which supplied power for only 2 months. Wow. So yes, and then Ghana heightens border surveillance of the Marburg and Ebola virus. So we have that on in the Finder, and yeah, pretty much that's it. That's it for me for the daily. Oh, okay. There's one more. Ghana, the management of the Ghana Airports Company Limited has outlined a 6-month roadmap aimed at addressing all statutory and welfare deductions of staff of the company that have in recent times been the source of agitations against the airport operator. So GACL rolls out 6-month roadmap to settle staff arrears.
Interesting. All right. Let's do since Israel has decided not to talk a lot this morning, let's do the Business and Financial Times, shall we? Momo is now bigger than all payment platforms combined. Value of transactions hit 89 billion Ghana cedis, whilst the others stand at 26 billion. So that's
massive.
Yeah, that's some good business. Some really good business there. Okay. Fidelity Bank launches Banking Academy. Singapore is shaping the future of mobility. Okay. Pay cocoa farmers promptly to avert agitation. $8 billion spent on rice imports in 10 years. Local production still wobbles around 30%. And government plans to achieve self-sufficiency in 2023. So in 2 years? Okay. All right, people. Let me see if I can find a few interesting stories for you. As pressure mounts, TUC deflects blame for low 4%. Adopt homegrown program to address unsustainable debt dependency. That's according to former Minister of Finance, set there. KNUST and Legon students are expressing worry about the indefinite suspension of semester exams. So we'll be talking more about that a little later on in the show. Investing in your human capital. Oh, interesting. A dwarf standing on the shoulders of a giant may see further than the giant himself. That's a quote by Robert Burton on page 13 of the Business and Financial Times. Online betting is a growing industry to watch in our digital space. Yeah, online betting seems to be a thing these days. Let's see. Let me just do the back page. ADB posts 400% profit growth amidst pandemic. Oh, good for them. And second batch of Amenfiman staff development program graduate. I think that's about it, Israel, yeah. Okay, let me do this one. 4th Ghana Business Leaders Excellence Awards held. Dr. Daniel Macaulay is Best Ghanaian Business Leader. Okay, that's interesting.
Congratulations.
Page 34 if you want the details of all the winners. And that's it for me with the Business and Financial Times.
Okay, so to the Daily Statesman, Bono East region to get a new university. Double salary scandal at Ghana Standards Authority. Former executive director to cough out 342,068 Ghana cedis. Agenda 111 hospital projects begins tomorrow. Ghana Health Service cautions against new deadly Marburg virus. And we go to, well, on page 3, Bono East region to get a new university. And then I'll go to $454.15 million retrieved from loss through liquidations. So SSNIT. So there's been this story about SSNIT losing so much money through some investments that they made, and the companies were liquidated. So SSNIT is now replying and saying that $4.15 million has been recovered from the $11.794 million indicated in the Auditor General's report as loss through the liquidation of 3 companies. And SHS students in court for attacking a teacher. And then Chief bans Okada over alarming cases of pedestrian knockdowns, which feeds very much into the story where the conversation we're going to have in this morning about crashed young. So yeah, pretty much that's it for the Daily Statesman. Now, I think we can do the, okay, you have the dispatch.
My last paper, just the headlines, I promise. The Daily Dispatch, front page, NDC's electoral reforms. NPP won in 2016 when EC chair was appointed by NDC. That's according to the NPP. Read about the dental signs of kidney disease. Okay. As Ghana awaits results of 2021 census, find out population details in Greater Accra, Ashanti, and Volta. And on the back page on NDC's electoral reforms, NPP, okay, that story about when the EC chair was appointed on the back page of the Daily Dispatch. Okay, Israel.
All right, so I want us to do the news review and go on to my Joy Online and also bring you the latest episode from former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu. But let's get on to the my Joy Online website and see the stories that are there. Moving story of how a destitute kid was rescued with his mentally challenged mother after JoyNews report. So we'll have that conversation here on the AM show. So do stay tuned in.
Okay, other stories, 7 things we learned on Newsfile. Ajiman Menu Ken Oforiata could be in jail for 5 years. The deadly overtaking involving a Hyundai Accent and VIP bus at Juasu that claimed 2 lives. We need conscious effort to ensure road safety, according to researcher. Saglami housing scandal, we could have solved this issue with $32 million some 5 years ago. That's according to Harry Yamson, former boss of KIAV VIP Lounge, took facilities furniture without permission. That's according to the Auditor General's report. And 3-month grace period for tenants to vacate rented place is not in our laws. That's according to Rent Control Piero, who was here with us on Thursday. Bank of Ghana was right in not sending banking directives to Parliament. That's according to the Supreme Court. And nightlife activities fast spreading COVID-19 in the eastern region. That's according to Minister, who expressed his concern. So that's my joy online there. But like Israel was saying, we have the statement from Martin Amidu.
Yes. So yeah, we have the statement from Martin Amidu, his very latest epistle. It came not too long ago, and we'll read you just a bit of it. So the title is, "Do not be like Thomas, whose eyes could not see Akufo-Addo's Sputnik V, Ejapa, and Other Affairs," by Martin ABK Amidu. And just to give you a bit of context now, Martin Amidu, he's been pursuing this citizen vigilantism for a long time. I mean, so long. He did it so well that it was one of the reasons that President Akufo-Addo thought that he was best placed to be a special prosecutor. So, well, he became special prosecutor. He resigned from the job, but he hasn't stopped his citizen vigilantism. He's still continuing. So he says, "From my experience working with President Akufo-Addo, I can bet my last peso that the report of the ad hoc parliamentary committee on the Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine procurement was just a smokescreen behind which to exonerate and whitewash all the suspected unconstitutionalities and illegalities committed by the government in the procurement contract and payment for the vaccines. Ghanaians must be hallucinating to think that the Minister of Health, whom I have known since our Commonwealth days in the 1970s, would have had the temerity to have executed the Sputnik COVID-19 procurement contract without executive approval by the mother of the government." The President's Bruno Region pronouncement on 10th August 2021 constitutes evidence of his interference with the investigatory and adjudicatory processes pending before a supposedly independent and coordinate arm of government, the legislature, before which the suspected Sputnik V corruption affair is currently pending for a decision on the findings or recommendations of the ad hoc parliamentary committee. Anima, would you want to continue?
I don't know if you want us to do this, the whole thing, because it really does say a lot. Okay, well, I'm continuing from where Israel left off. When I stated the President's interference with the independent performance of the functions of the special prosecutor in investigations and prosecution of suspected corruption and corruption-related matters affecting the government and its appointees as the main reason for my resignation, doubting Thomases, as usual, had no eyes to see nor hear and questioned my judgment. After my resignation, the whole world witnessed how the Anti-Corruption Auditor General, Mr. Daniel Domlevo, was hounded out of office on flimsy grounds for daring to endorse and approve audit findings made by his staff against members of the family. In President Akufo-Addo's government's desperation for vengeance, the IOCO hauled in the Auditor General for alleged procurement malpractices involving the absence of Public Procurement Authority approval in a case in which the Auditor General was clearly not involved in the procurement process or any of the breaches thereof. The revenge exacted by the President on Mr. Domlevo as an Auditor General exercising the independent constitutional function assigned to his office under the Constitution as the Auditor General was a clear interference in the performance of the functions of the Auditor General by the President from making audit findings against members of the family, and yet the doubting Thomases could not see again nor hear.
What makes Daniel Domelevo's government's manufactured procurement suspected breaches warranting Yoko harassment different from the government's own breaches of the Public Procurement Act and Article 1815 of the Constitution in the Sputnik V COVID-19 procurement contract as an international business or economic transaction? When did a thief or armed robber who steals or robs another cease to be a thief or an armed robber simply by returning part of the stolen or robbed property to the owner? That's the alleged refund of the sum of 2.47 million out of the initial unlawful part payment by cousin co-president and Minister of Finance of a sum of 2.85 million render constitutional and legal the initial payment, including the 20,000 doses of the Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccines delivered by Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum, representing $380,000 of the unconstitutional international business and economic procurement transaction.
Okay, resolution of the Sputnik V COVID-19 Al Maktoum void contract. And this, of course, is Martin Amidu, if you've just joined us. I have since January 2021 followed the genesis of the Russian Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine arrangements between the Russian Direct Investment Fund and the Orogolf Health Investments, an Abu Dhabi-based company established late last year with close connections to Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum, a low-ranking Dubai royal, acting as the chief deal maker, leading to the suspicious deal with the government of Ghana in the purported procurement of Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccines at inflated prices from the Ghanaian public purse that culminated in the constitution by Parliament of a 9-member ad hoc bipartisan committee of Parliament to investigate the matter. Sheikh Ahmed Dalmouk Al Maktoum of Ameri Group LLC fame under the National Democratic Congress and the NPP governments, and the controversy surrounding the shortchanging of the Ghanaian public purse by public officers for private gain in the power generation sector is well documented to need reminders. See, for instance, a summation in Timeline, how Mohammed's Ameri deal claimed an Akufo-Addo minister. That's published on My Joy Online, 7th August 2018.
All right, and then the Parliamentary Bipartisan Ad hoc Committee. But Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum's involvement in gaining the Sputnik V COVID-19 international business or economic transactions procurement contract after the Ameri Group Energy debacles that smeared both the NDC and the NPP governments creates a context for appreciating the true nature of the alleged parliamentary engineered bipartisan resolution of the suspected Sputnik corruption and corruption-related affairs by a parliament dominated by the same political parties of known greedy financial affinity with the Sheikh. And it came to pass that the resolution on the findings and recommendations on the alleged parliamentary bipartisan ad hoc committee report, as I expected, was adjourned sine die, with the earliest time it could ever be readable for a plenary decision being October 2021. Any person who has carefully studied how systems of Western-style parliaments and so-called democracies take we the people for the rabble until election time would understand the underpinnings of the parliamentary action apparently purposefully reserved for the last day of its session on Friday, 6 August 2021. Postponed the day of reckoning with the appearance of disagreement from the two sides in Parliament who were previously associated with the scandalous Ameri Group power transactions. And the rabble will forget the momentum and seriousness of the constitutional infractions involved in the Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccines constitutionally void procurement contracts. Now, it continues. There's quite a bit, but we can't bring you all of it. So we're just sharing with you just this wee bit, but there's going to be more. And indeed, it's going to be published on My Joy Online pretty shortly. So do stay tuned in. We have that. You can expect that to appear on the website, My Joy Online. Yeah. So do stay tuned in. But we're still here on the AM show. We're going to be taking a break.
Yes.
And then we'll bring you
some sports.
Some sports.
Yes.
And then later on, we still have the conversation with Opambo, Ebenezer Opambo, Not the pastor.
Not the reverend. Yeah, I was just going to say. Yeah.
And yes, so do stay tuned.
Do stay tuned. And before we take that break, a happy 10th birthday to Irabna Nyanka of Our Lady of the Holy Cross in Kaswa. This is from your daddy, your mommy, papa, and nana. The message is we love you dearly. And it's also from your dad, Fred Nyanka, PRO at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. If today's your birthday, have an absolutely wonderful one, and blessings, blessings, blessings. Don't go anywhere. Still the AM show.